Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this video we are going to check out Litecoin's price chart. And if you remember, in the previous updates we were right around here and I was saying most likely we are going to have a move up, but the move itself is not really that important. We need to pay attention to the shape of our move, and if it's going to be a 5-wave, great sign. If it's going to be a correction structure, not so much, and it means most likely we are going to have some more downward price action. And let's go on 15-minute chart. I think we can now all safely assume that this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave correction down, probably an A, B, C zigzag, and yes, another 5-wave on the upside. And well, these are the sub waves for, you know the deal, an A, B, C zigzag, and our move down did continue a little bit. Now, what I'm about to tell you is very important, and I need you to fully understand that in LTC overall I am very optimistic. Why? Because if you want to argue that, for example, we're gonna have our final low around this area, let's say this is like a very important support, then okay, off of the lowest low in this region you need to be able to find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, and this thing is an impulse. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. And for our sub waves, 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. Let's change the colors to red. Okay, another 5 into wave 3, and this is our final 5 wave into 5. And for wave 2 and 4 we can have different counts. Let's say, sure, WXY into wave 2 and ABC structure into wave 4. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. Okay, here is why I am at the moment very much optimistic in Litecoin. What do we have starting from the lowest low? Beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up into a wave 1, probably a WXY in form of a double zigzag into wave 2 to about this point, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 3, correction for another move up into wave 5. And let's just delete this one. Okay, this white 5 wave up is probably into this wave 3, and I'm going to say this was most likely an ABC in form of a flat into 4 and yet another move up into wave 5. Question: what happens after a 5 wave up? You know the answer. We are going to have a move on the downside. So let's have a quick conclusion. Because we are able to identify a beautiful 5 wave up starting from the lowest low in Litecoin, about $60 to $63, I am now optimistic, and I want to say the final low most likely is in. But that doesn't mean that we're going to go straight up. No, in fact, because it seems like that this 5 wave has come to an end, now I'm going to say it's time for a move down, and that might actually be a deep move on the downside. Why? Because if you want to argue that we are bullish and the low is already in, well, okay, this is going to be 5 up into 1 on a higher degree, and then correction for wave 2, another move into wave 3, 4, 5. And one very important characteristic of a wave 2 is being usually a deep retracement. Okay, this is very important to understand, and let's just use Fibonacci's and see where we are right now. Excuse me. There we go. So far we haven't even reached to somewhere around the 38% level, so I do not believe this is a deep move down. No, I think we need to go down a bit more and reach to about these levels, somewhere between generally 61.8 to about the 78%, which means between, let's say, 69.5 to about $74. Do we have some more evidence that we are having a corrective movement on the downside starting from this point, and it's going to be on the same degree as this 5 wave? The answer is yes. Let's go on 15-minute time frame. Okay, so if you remember in the previous updates, I was saying if I see the right structures after this move down, I'm going to argue maybe we are having an extension scenario, meaning this can be a 1, 2, and then big move up into wave 3, 4, 5, and at that point, okay, this 5 wave up is going to be into wave 5, and it's time for a move down. Now pay attention. Let's just zoom in more and hide everything. Okay, as you can see in this move down in the last couple of hours, we actually took this important low and I do not believe that we can consider our extension scenario at the moment. Sure, maybe I don't know how, but somehow you are able to find a correction, maybe starting from this point and ending to about here, in order for you to say maybe we're gonna have like another move up into wave 5. But that is absolutely not my primary scenario. I'm going to argue in LTC we have completed a 5 wave to about this point, and now it's time for a correction down. And it can be, for example, like ABC down into wave W, correction for wave X, and yet another ABC into our wave Y, completing the subwaves for a WXY in form of a double zigzag. The point that I'm trying to make is this: I think this move down in LTC is going to continue, and if I see the proper subways for it, at that point you are going to see me talking bullish in Litecoin with a lot of confidence. Generally, so far you should understand that continuing this move down is not really going to be a bearish sign at all. Okay, this in my opinion is very important, and I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Litecoin's price chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.